Focus on the people in your design, not the engineering aspect of the design. Engineers love to think about things, gadgets, gizmos, code, those kind of things that we can kind of go off and wrap our heads around and put our heads down and crank on the technical problem. It's very satisfying for engineers, especially introverted engineers, and we don't care so much about the people that are part of the project. But the people are the most important part of every project. There are two main classes of people that are important in the project as you're working on it. One is your actual user, of whoever is going to be using the device or the software that you're creating. That person is an integral part of the system, and they need to be an integral part of your design. If you're not thinking constantly about your end user's experience of how they are going to interact with and use the thing that you're making, then you're going to miss the mark. It's important to think about them as part of the design them into the system, design the other parts of the system so that it can help them have a smooth experience of using your product. That's an important part of design, possibly one of the most important parts of the design, is to get that right. You know this from the success that Apple has had. Apple takes that kind of focus of the customer experience being the central thing that they're shooting for in any of their designs. That sometimes even leads to what are perceived as compromises on the technology. Apple is often mocked for not having features that have already been in Android for a long time and that sort of thing. But they want to get it right. They want the experience to be right, so their focus is different. And it's not about the features, it's about the experience. So that's the first person that you want to keep in mind at all times during the design process. There's a second person that you need to keep in mind, and that is the customer that you're doing the work for that is paying you. So either that, if you're a contractor, that's your customer that you're developing the product for. If you're working for a company, that's your boss, your people that are paying your paycheck, the ones that are going to be happy with your work from an internal perspective. And sometimes those two sets of people may be in conflict. Hopefully, you're working for someone that understands the value of the user experience and the value of putting in the time it takes to make the product what it needs to be for the customer. But sometimes there are going to be some compromises there as well. And obviously, you have to please your boss. You have to please whoever it is that's giving you the paycheck. But if you can help direct them toward making a good user experience be part of the first class design that you're doing, then you're going to be further ahead with your success of your product, and they're going to be more successful with the success of their product. You do need to convince them of that a bit, and there's going to be a bit of give and take, no doubt, on that. But those are the two people that you should be thinking about most, and you got to think about both of those people, the end customer and who's paying your paycheck, first, before you even start to think about the technical aspects of the individual details and features of what you want to put in your product. Yes, those things are part of the design and they go toward the user experience, but they are, the most important thing is to achieve the user experience, not to get a particular feature that you are really itching to get into your product. Focus on the people in your design, not the engineering aspect of the design.